And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose By. We are back at the beginning of the week. Hello to you, Denise. Good to be able to see you from Canada. Appreciate you being over there with us. For those who are tuning in today, joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter, we welcome you all to the program. We don't have Amazon Live on with us today, but believe me, you'll be seeing me a lot on Amazon Live this week, I guarantee. But today, I'm back with our friends Mary Ellen Ciganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing for Words I Choose to Live By. We're starting over week number one because we're back for our new season. First of all, how's everybody doing?
Doing wonderful.
Doing great.
Feels good to be back, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, definitely glad that our audience can be with us. Appreciate you guys being with us. We typically on another platform on Thursdays, but it's good to be back over here through Restream for the rest of you guys as well. I'm going to go ahead and get things kicked off with our message for today. But I do want to say, for those who don't know, all of our co-hosts, they actually do have books of their own. Even though this show is called Word That Is coming from my book, we will let you guys know at the end of our broadcast how you can be able to get their books as well as how you guys can stay connected with them too. The great thing is about being without Amazon is that they don't have to just depend on Amazon. When it comes to tell stuff to you guys today, they can be able to share other ways too so you guys can stay connected. So today we're discussing week number one. It all begins with love. Again, from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Get some of that glare off of it. Here's to a week of surrounding yourself with those who will propel you forward and not keep pushing you back when it comes to walking a life of purpose. Remember this week that love shows itself. Those who love you will want the very best for you, as you should want the same for yourself and others. Love breeds love. So it's good that we're starting back off with this message because I think it's something that people have, I think, misinterpreted the importance of, I think, over the years. And one thing really helped me to become more sane, if I am sane, this has helped me to become more sane, is realizing that I cannot control other people's happiness, and my happiness should not be dependent on someone else. I should do my part to make sure that I'm coming from a place of love, but I have no control over anybody else as to what they're bringing to the world, what they're bringing as far as energy goes. And that also means then that I have to divorce myself from the outcome of what happens. Now, yes, I do believe that love breeds love, but sometimes you just have to know, you know what? I'm not supposed to be around you. You're not good for my vibe. You're not good for my purpose. And I need to be able to move away from that energy so that I can stay on the right track. So, Mary Ellen, we're going to get things kicked off with you. How important has it been for you to realize not only what your purpose is, but who you allow to join you as you pursue your purpose?
Well, it was important for me to learn to love myself since I wasn't brought up with that love surrounding me. I wasn't brought up and I had a traditional family unit, yet they were so yelling and dysfunctional that it was just crazy. So it was important for me. And I did Miracles with Mary Ellen this morning on love. And I was talking about how love is a higher vibrational frequency up here. And love is a lower fear is a lower vibrational frequency down here. If someone comes at you and they're complaining and they're yelling and they're doing that, they're coming from their lower vibrational frequency of fear. And you can stay in love and break that fear. Or you can come at them with fear and they yell and you yell and they complain and then all of a sudden it blows up like a keg of dynamite. So you need to remember that love breeds love. Love conquers fear. And fear just breeds more fear. And I mean a true unconditional love. And it all starts with loving yourself. We all have to learn to love ourselves unconditionally. You know, I had to go through a lot of steps to learn how to love Mary Ellen with all the flaws, with everything and with nothing. And I had to accept that I am a child of God. Humans are put on this planet to give love to this planet, not to take love. Or, you know, people are always saying, I need to have someone in my life to love me. I need to find someone to love me. No, you don't. You need to love yourself. And you need to surround yourself with those positive, uplifting people that love you also, that want you to succeed. And you need to keep those thoughts in your mind and pay attention to those loving thoughts, because the thoughts you pay attention to are created in your life. So when you pay attention to loving thoughts, you create those. And when you pay attention to any type of negativity or complaining on the internet or news or anywhere, you create those. And why would you want to create anything negative in your life? You have to always go forward with love, and ask yourself, if you're in a situation and someone does something and it hooks you, ask yourself quietly in your mind, not to them, not out loud, what is the most loving thing I can say right now? What is the most loving text I can write? And at times it's going to be to stay quiet and walk away.
So true. Denise said, flawlessly flawed and perfectly imperfect. Denise, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
And I think everyone would agree with that. That is one of those universal things I think people know. Melissa, what about for you? How important has it been for you to realize your purpose, but also the importance of who you allow to be on this road to your purpose with you?
But for me, I think the key to this, even beyond loving myself, beyond the affirmations that I give myself to help me and to inspire me, what this makes me think about, and what really made the difference for me, was recognizing even someone that you love, but recognizing that they were not good for you to be around. Because when you were around them, or when you were in conversations with them, you didn't feel your best self, because the conversation from them was not uplifting you. It was not inspiring you, and it was setting you back, causing it hard to move forward. So I had to get really good, and I continue to do that, in identifying who those people are. And so it's not always someone that you don't like or you don't care about. It's often someone that you do care about and you want some communication, but recognizing they're not someone you need to have regular communication with. And they're not someone you need to discuss your purpose and your dreams with, because they're not going to bring it up. So you want to surround yourself with people who show love, not just say, I love you, but show love, show the support, show how they build you up, and celebrate your wins. You've heard people say all the time, pay attention who's celebrating when you win. Because if they love you, they're going to celebrate when you win, because they want to see you reach your goals. They want you to see you have some success. So they're going to celebrate with you. If they're quiet during those times, that tells you that this is not someone you need to be spending a whole lot of time with, because truly it's easy to say, I love you, but do you show it in those times that I'm celebrating, or even in those times that I'm quiet? So if I show up every single day and then all of a sudden I'm quiet, you don't hear from me, I'm not inspiring people. And inspiring people is what I'm here for. It is my purpose. I'm clear. So it's like breathing to me. So if all of a sudden I'm not doing that, who are the people that are reaching out and saying, are you okay? Or is something going on? Do I need to be praying for you? Those are the people you want to put in your space. When I got really clear about that, guys, that's when I was able to move forward. That's when I'm able to get out of bed, even when it's hard, because those are the people I'm surrounding myself with. And I can just choose to not surround myself with the people who are not lifting me up. It's the love breeds love part for me. I think that's amazing. And those words ring loud and powerful, because those are the people you want in your life. Those are the people you want to be speaking with on a regular basis. Those are the people you want to share your purpose with, because they're going to push you further.
Yeah. Darius, I want to switch the question up a little bit based on something that Mary and Melissa both said, because I think the thing that, and I'm so glad that I'm a loner, and it's kind of funny, and it's also kind of sad. I see pictures of me as a young person, and you know how you're holding hands of people, they tell you, oh, hold hands, or we take the picture, and you can tell by the facial expression on my face, I don't want to be holding their hand. So, so I've always been this person that's just been okay with being me, and I've grown into appreciating other people. But I wanted to ask a question, Darius, because a lot of times people, as we're talking about love breeding love is more than a like on a post. Love is more than someone sharing something. Even it can be a form of love, but I'm asking you, Darius, how important has it been for you not to connect people's response to you with love? Because I think, for a lot of people, as I mentioned in this particular message, I said, remember this week that love shows itself. Those who love you will want the very best for you, as you should want the same for yourself and others. How important has it been for you, Darius, to be content, regardless of whether you get a like on a post, regardless of have someone say, you know, great job. How important has that been for you? Oh, Darius, we can't hear you. No, no. Mm-hmm. Say something now, Darius. No, 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 no. We can't hear you. Uh,
Is your
so,
microphone?
well, Melissa, yeah, is the microphone on there, Darius? They're on the bottom of the screen. Is it showing the microphone on? Okay, Melissa, I'll throw that question to you, and then we'll see if we can bring Darius in. Darius, I'm going to reset you to see if that may help you, and then come back in. Okay. So, Melissa, I'm going to ask you that question. How important has it been for you not to attach your value to how people respond to you?
Oh my gosh, it is huge. When I post something, I do not even look at the likes, and because what it was doing to me, it was making me feel like my word wasn't getting out there. It was making me feel as if
Mm,
nobody was hearing me. And that can impact your thoughts. So once I made the decision,
yeah.
my job, my being obedient to my purpose is to put it out there. And whether it's my morning motivation or promoting something that I'm doing in my business, my job is
Right.
to put it out there. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. If it gets one like, great, somebody saw it. What
Mm,
looking at the likes do is cause you to lose credibility for yourself and your message. It starts
Yeah.
you to thinking that a lot of people don't like me, that my message is not getting through. Well, your message is getting through even if there are no likes there. So likes have once I realized that and stopped getting discouraged because I'll see somebody else's like and they got 500 likes on a post and I got 2, then I started, and then it was messing with my mind. That's my
right.
power. So I stopped doing that. I don't look at it. I am following what I'm put here to do, and I'm going to keep doing it. And the people who are supposed to hear it and receive it are going to hear it and receive it. I want to reach as many people as I can that what my message can help. My message is not for everybody. My message is for the person who can receive it and can believe in it. And that's what I focus on. When you start focusing on those numbers and comparing, another thing focusing on numbers causes you to do is compare your numbers to other people. And it causes you to think that
Right.
you're not credible, that you're not doing something right. So it definitely impacts your mind. I don't care who you are, it does. And it just made all the difference in
Yeah.
the world when I accepted the fact that I don't have to pay attention to that.
Right. Darius, can you hear us? Say something, Darius. Darius,
Hello.
can you hear us? Okay, yes. Okay, we can hear you,
Hey.
Darius. All right, Darius. So I'm gonna throw that question to you now. How has it been for you not to connect your purpose to how people receive, whether you're talking about on social media or otherwise? Yeah, sure. No, I was asking how important has it been for you not to allow the response to your work and your purpose to affect you? Whether we're talking about a like on on a post or otherwise, how important has that been for you?
You have to be a purpose. Number one, you have to know what your assignment is, and you can't get caught up in personal feelings when you're dealing with your purpose. Personal feelings for me when you have purpose, because you start to depend on the back versus you leaning and depend
Yeah,
on the person who gave you the gift and who instructed you into purpose. Comes off as being almost arrogant, really just being, calm in your purpose. I appreciate the pats on the back, but if I let all the pats on the back and the other not pats on the back get to me, now I'm focusing on, and that's one of the biggest things that we all run into. We look at if 10 people here, long as I've carried out the mission, I've
right. Exactly.
As long as you've done your part from your heart, honestly and wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, you're watching Words I Choose to Live By based on my book. You guys see it there. I'm joined by Mary Ellen Ciganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing. Today we're talking about week 1 as we're starting our new season. It all begins with love. And as I mentioned in this message, as we talked about here, it has to begin with the love for yourself first. And then, of course, being able to share that love with other people, because love can't breed love if we don't start first with ourselves. Meryl, I'm going to ask you a similar question. Then we're going to keep you up front because we're featuring you this week as we're getting to a little bit better. This point that I mentioned with Darius and Melissa, Mary Ellen, you the longest out of the group. How important has it been for you to not to judge your success in your purpose by the response that you get?
If I judged my success by that, I'd have quit a long time ago. But I agree with Melissa and Darius. It's not about the likes or whatever that you get back. It's about your purpose, your higher purpose of putting a light and inspiration out there. And because a lot of people see it and they won't click on the like. Because I've had a lot of people come back to me and they go, "Well, I read your posts every day," and I'm like, and I've never had a like from them or a comment. So you have to understand that it's reaching more people than you are aware of. And, that can always keep you going. And I just know that this is my purpose. This is what God wants me to do.
Love that. Love that. Well, Marilyn, we're going to keep you up front because as we are now resetting and beginning our new season, we wanted to do another getting to know you session. And Darius is going to actually kick this off with our questions for Mary Ellen. So, Darius, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What is your biggest motivation when it?
I heard the what is. I didn't hear the last part. I'm sorry.
It broke up there, Darius. Can you repeat the question?
I can't. What is your biggest motivation? What drives you? What drives others?
Well, it would be my higher power. It would be my connection with God. It's my purpose to get up in the morning. It is what I know God wants me to do. That's what drives me. And it is my way of giving back and reaching into the love inside of me that God gave to me through all of the trials and tribulations I've been through in my life, to then go forward, either using my story or the truths that I've learned, to then share them with other people so that they can use these truths in their life. And a lot of people won't use them until they get to a hard place. And then they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I can use the truth that way. What you focus on expands, what you think about happens. I got to quit focusing on the negative." So, it's all about keeping in touch with your higher power, with God wants you to do, your purpose.
Okay. We lost Darius. I think Darius is having some connection issues there. So, Melissa, I'm going to go to you next with your questions for Mary Ellen.
Okay, great. Mary Ellen, it's been such an honor, this journey, to watch your journey over the short period of time that I've known you. It seemed I can just see some growth, and I can see the maturity and the passion, the more you were able to show your passion. And it's exciting to me to see. One of the things that I wanted to talk more about is how you evolved the truths. Once you got the inspiration for the truths, they just have evolved and inspire us in so many different ways. You have the books, you have your lives. How did that happen? How did it come from an idea of the truths to everything that it is today?
Well, Melissa, thank you for that. And I honor you because you are just such a blessing to everybody too. And I want you to know that because you inspire me and everyone else. The truths I began studying the truths. Of course, I've read every book in the Bible. I was Christian Personhood Chairman for the United Methodist Church in Charleston, West Virginia. And then after my first husband left, I began studying at the Atlanta Awareness Center, which is a center that teaches truths based on a Christian-based philosophy. And when I began learning these, like you're never upset for the reason you think, you're always only angry with yourself, I'd be like, yeah, right, sure. I'm angry with and you're always only angry at yourself for either listening to a person or for following their advice or for doing something that you knew you shouldn't do. And as I learned these, and I became a more peaceful person, and I transitioned into a better version of what this human form is called Mary Ellen, then I was able to hear what God wanted me to write in healing words and then create the truths of the day from that. It was a day by day process of learning these truths. And because when I first heard a lady tell me, Mary Ellen, the problem is you see a problem. Oh, was I mad? I was like, oh, yeah, right, sure. I had this mother, I had that, I had that. And I woke up in the middle of the night, Melissa, I sat up and I was like, she is right. The problem is I see a problem. If I can look at it differently, or when I can look at it differently and take it back and say, what do I need to learn from seeing this as a problem? Is that something with my mother being recreated again? Is that something what is it that I need to learn? I can learn it and I can go forward in peace. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do I have another question?
Of course you do, if you'd like to.
Okay. The one thing that I did want to ask you is, this past year you went through some challenges with health challenges. You deal with MS all the time, occasionally as well. How do you keep pushing and keep empowering others, even when you're going through some difficult times? I just think that that's a big thing for people to hear from us, that everything is not great every single day and we get up and we show up and we empower, but you continue to do that even when life issues are hitting you. And how do you get through those challenges?
Well, of course, when I had pneumonia, I couldn't speak. So God had me down for 6 weeks. And it was funny because I'd asked God for some time to rest. Well, okay, I got pneumonia. Okay, fine. I did not mean 6 weeks, God. Okay. Got you from that. And it's hard because there are mornings when I wake up and the fatigue is so bad with the MS. And I know Pete will even say, hey, why don't you take today off? And I'm like, no, because when I push myself, then I control the MS monster instead of it controlling me. If I were to give in to that fatigue, give in to that pain, give in to whatever is showing up in my life, because sometimes I'll have a pain in my right eye. I've woken up before without eyesight and fallen to the ground without legs. And I keep going. Part of it's being stubborn, that's true. And I just know if I were to stop, then that MS monster would come out of its cave and take over. And I refuse to allow that to happen. I was diagnosed with MS in 1989 before any medications were out there. So I had to study holistic healing, Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic healing, all kinds of alternative methods to find a healing force for me. And I found that. So when they came out with the MS meds, I just said, well, thank you very much, but ask the next person because I'm not going to do it. And my neurologist today goes, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
That's great. Thank you, Mary Ellen.
Thank you, Melissa.
I did hear back from Darius. He's having some bad weather there where he is. So, Darius, be safe there. Mary Ellen, we do have a question that came in for you. How did you get past the naysayers when you started out?
Well, I just kept going. I mean, at first, when I was putting my truths of the day on the internet, on Facebook, there would be some people that would make comments, and another person would make a rude comment to that person. And I would talk to the person who left the rude comment. And I would say, look, this is an inspiring group. This is a positive group. If you're going to put negative comments, I'm going to block you, because that's not what my page is all about. You know, if you want to have your negative comments and your complainings, and if you want to say something about what somebody said, then you can do that. And you can always do it in a positive way. There's always a positive way to say a negative statement. And if you can't do that in my group, then you need to go someplace else. And to answer the question, I just kept on going. You know, I just wasn't going to let anyone stop me.
Love that. Marilyn, I have just one question for you, and you didn't even know I was going to ask you this question.
Okay.
You are so good about sharing these stories when you do your Miracles of Mary Ellen.
Mm.
When are we going to get the Mary Ellen Ciganovich story? When are you going to write your story?
I think people would probably take the books and put them in a pile and burn them. I mean, that's how bad my story is. And because there are hard parts that you know about, and there are even worse parts that people don't know about. Of course, my husband knows, my daughter knows, and, you know, things like that. And those are the hard parts that I don't know if I will come out with them. I am waiting for God to give me permission to share that with the world if I should. Because those are the really hard times. Like, I was kidnapped once. It was a really short little kidnapping, but whatever. I mean, it really was a short, quick kidnapping. Because as soon as he stopped the car and got out of the car, I knew the back door was open, and I got out of the car and I ran. I just ran. And I ended up at a police station, and it was interesting because the kidnapper had already called the police station saying, oh, this drunk lady jumped out of my car and says I kidnapped her. So whatever. You know, but, you know, there are different parts of my life that I think back and go, what was I thinking? You know, how could I have allowed that to happen? Yet by allowing that to happen, I learned, and I became better and better and better. See, I did not have a family, a mother and father that I could call from the police station and say, hey, I've been kidnapped. I'm in the police station. They would not have come pick me up. So I did not have anyone. I always had to be myself, by myself. And, you know, it's okay. You know, sometimes I miss, my daughter asked me why I didn't have a family. And I said, well, you can't have something you never had. You know, I can't make a family happen.
Right. Denise wants to know, Mary Ellen, how much does your MS negatively impact your work life, from ability to meet deadlines to ability to even support yourself?
Well, fortunately, of course, I'm married to Pete, so he does a lot of the support, hopefully. And I stay ahead of the game. Like right now, I'm writing Truths of the Day for into August. I always prepare myself in advance. And I always record a lot of my Truths of the Day in case I wake up the next morning and I can't walk or I can't do it. I tell Pete, it's right here. Please post it for me. You know, so I always try to stay ahead of the game. I have a strict diet that I follow because MS is related to diet. MS is related to stubbornness, which of course I am. And I exercise every single solitary day.
Wow. Well, thank you, Mary Ellen, for that. Thank you so much for all that you do for so many and for us here. Again, everyone, thank you all for being with us for this episode of Word I Choose to Live By. We'll be with you guys next week, same time, and we'll be discussing week number 2. And we'll be talking to Melissa Banks, and she'll be the one on the she'll be the one we'll be asking questions about. I'm coming from a place of love, Mary Ellen. Place of love.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So make sure you guys get your copy of my book if you have not done so already. Word I Choose to Live By. It is available on Amazon, and you can always find me all over social media. Mary Ellen, how can they stay connected with you?
Well, go through my website at, of course, www.askmaryellen.com. You'll find my Miracles of Mary Ellen moment already posted. You'll find tons of blogs. You'll find links over to Amazon for all 3 of my books. And leave me a message or connect with me on all my social media links to get my truths of the day.
All right. Thank you for that. And Melissa, how can they stay connected with you?
Well, we make it really easy to connect with us at themelissabanks.com, where you can find the link to our book, Dream by Design, the devotional. Get the daily inspirations to feed into your spirit so that you can keep going through the hard stuff. You can also connect with us right there on all of our platforms, whether it's Instagram, our website, or our radio show, where you listen to some powerful women who share how they push through some difficult challenges. Everything is right there at themelissabanks.com.
All right. And if Darius was here, I'm sure he would tell you that his book, Note to Self, is available on Amazon.com. Also, you can find him on Facebook as well as on Instagram. So make sure you guys do that. And again, thanks to all of you for being back with us. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you so
great.
much. Thank you,
And we
Denise.
thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Words I Choose to Live By. Until next time, great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.